Welcome to all. I am Mar Introini, Global Chair G100 Global Networking, and I am once again here with our special events, virtual events that aim to empower. But what means empower? It's giving power to women, but also to men. And in this case, we talk about youth because we need to empower youth, not from a traditional perspective, but from an innovative one. And an innovative one doesn't mean this future generation, but the present generation. Crisis, this stage of crisis, of multiple crises, is forcing us to address directly from the people. We need a reboost of the civil society to give them leadership. And the youth had to be in the stage. As we always say in our platform, we connect with creativity, we exchange with experts with our purposes to learn from each other. There's not enough the solutions that the nation from the public sector is giving us. We need more than that. We need to all the people on a stage. And for that, the youth need tools. They need to take the lead to deliver their own solutions. And for that, we have bring all these wonderful ladies on this 2022, the European Year of Youth. So perfect timing, post-pandemic time to solution, different solutions. And we are here for that. We hope it will be the first event for many others about youth, about how we could bring them to power, to really giving them the tools to have their own voice. So today there is with us our ambassador, our generous and wise ambassador, Anita Davis Defoe, that she, for us, is G100 Global Chair Youth Enterprise and Leadership, that I put it first because it's important here. And she's an award-winning solutionist, social entrepreneur, strategist, CEO of Upshift Global, which provides solutions and tools that ignite growth, revenues, sustainability, and impact. She's also senior training consultant on global partnerships, the class of steel, that facilitate personal growth and leadership development learning opportunities for learners around the globe. And she's also a consultant, a WCA of the US Virgin Islands, that facilitate personal leadership, entrepreneurship, wellness, career, and workforce development knowledge sessions for women and girls across the Virgin Islands. Anita, we are very honored that you are here with us. Yeah, you are always delivering a wonderful tools and empowerment speech that we need right now. So Anita, the floor is yours. You are very welcome.
Well, indeed, it's an honor and privilege to be with you and to share in this dialogue on this important conversation. As you opened, you're so right. Looking at ways to support and equip the next generation, our young leaders, is so important. And coming up with strategies, intergenerational strategies, are so critical. When I think about young leaders and I think about what is necessary for them, there's several things that come to mind. One of them is passion. And if you look at the word passion, pass I on. If you break the word down, that's really what it means in its simplest forms. Helping young people, young adults to identify their strengths, those things that they get excited about, because all of the research supports that when you help a young person identify what they're passionate about, what their strengths are, that no matter what circumstances they're born in, no matter what strife that they have to encounter, that if they can identify their passions, that tends to help them to shift their interests. It shifts their peer groups, and then they will find that thing that really drives and ignites them and that can keep them going. And that can really help them to find a career. The next thing is really equipping them with leadership skills. One of the biggest challenges that we all face is leadership. And the most difficult person to lead is ourselves. And so teaching young adults at an early age how to be leaders, how to recognize their strengths, how to take those skills of organizing, leading strong teams, planning, innovation, creativity, taking those ideas and forming those into programs and projects. Those are very powerful strengths that companies are paying thousands upon thousands of dollars for. And if young people are able to harness those and understand how to use them, that they are able to build a career from that. The two things that are underlying foundation for young people, but for people in general, are really what I call A plus B equals C. Attitudes plus beliefs equal choices. You see, many times our mindset or attitude really impacts our actions, our choices. And our attitudes often are not really our own. Many times our attitudes have been inherited from someone else. They have been shaped by someone else. And so more and more with a young person, an adult, can shape a positive mindset and have an attitude that is linked to possibility, not just focused on problems all the time, because problems are going to come in our lives. But if you have an attitude that, let me face this problem and let me figure out the solution, that is what's going to help you sail through life. The next part of that equation is your beliefs. What do you believe you can manifest in your life? What do you believe you deserve? We manifest what we believe. And many times, we only manifest what we think others expect us to do, or we have allowed it to be limited by the circumstances in which we have been born, or because of what other people have said about us or to us. Many times in conversations with people, they are sharing with me something that someone said when they were in grade school. And it was so hurtful that they still remember it to this day as an adult. So you have to believe in yourself. Young people have to know that, sometimes people say things because that's how they were socialized. That's all they know. And they say things hurtful. And you can't let that stop you. Attitudes plus beliefs equal your choices. If you have that mindset and know that you can achieve something and you believe in yourself, you will make the right choice. And you will make choices that will help you to manifest your goals. And you have to make sure that your goals are aligned with your aspirations. University of Rhode Island did some interesting research that found that many times the aspirations of people don't link up with the goals. For example, they found that there was a young man who said he wanted to be a basketball star, but he didn't like to sweat. Or a young lady who said she wanted to be a doctor, but she didn't like science. So you have to make sure that there is an alignment between your true aspirations and also your goals. And the last thing I will share, most people think that it's all about being smart, that it's about intelligence. But the research doesn't support that either. If you look at raw intelligence versus resilience, what it has been found is the difference maker for success in this life is not raw intelligence. And all of us probably know somebody, family or friends, who is brilliant. The person is just brilliant, but they don't accomplish much. But you may know someone who they refuse to give up, they keep pushing, and you see them accomplish things. It has been found that intelligence versus resilience, that the factor that really pushes us forward, and I want everyone to listen to this, whether youth or adults, is resilience. It's that ability to dust yourself off and get back up when you are faced with an obstacle, when you're faced with a problem, is refusing to quit. Resiliency is the key. Resiliency is what can help you become a success. And remember to define success as you want it to be. Often when you don't have money, you always say, if I had money, I would be a success. Well, people that have money, they shouldn't have any problems. And you look around, they tend to have even more money. So it's clear that money is not what gives us our true definition of success. Yes, it gives you more freedom to do different things, but in the end, everybody has their own definition of success. So, whatever your definition of success is, that's what you should aspire to. But make sure that you align your attitudes, that you have a strong belief system in your possibilities so that you can make good choices and be a resilient person. Yes, you may have challenges, but that's okay. We all do. Life is not a magic carpet ride, but when you think about the beauty of a diamond, it gets its beauty from the pressure that it's under. So your beauty, your unique significance is going to come through those most trying moments. Anybody that we note and say is successful, they will tell you that they didn't get their greatest learning when they were taking the photo and they got the trophy. Their greatest learning is the journey to that moment, the struggle. And so it's through our struggles, as trying and difficult as they may, is our greatest learning. So those are the things that I would share to everyone, but especially to the next generation, Gen Next. You got this. All you need to do is follow that trail to find your unique self. Because if you look at the word youth, you see YOU, you. You're there and you are destined for greatness. It's been my honor and privilege to share with you, my sisters.
Anita, as we promised, it was absolutely fantastic because Anita, it's an expert of what means leadership, what means tools, what means sustainability. And instead of taking this time to talk about that tools, specifically expertise, she go directly to what means the real change of a society. That is your attitudes, your belief, your choices, keeping focus and keeping focus on the present, all the journey. So most of the it's true. Most of the young people think that it's a matter of being skilled, of talent, of intelligence, and it's a matter of goodwill as well. This attitude of goodwill in relation to the society and with themselves as well, the way they're related. I will open the debate for the others. I open your microphones, please, ladies, go ahead with these beautiful lessons that Anita has left us. Bridget, yes.
I love how Dr. Anita says that our attitude is someone else, that our attitude is someone else's until we become aware of that. And also, as an adult, it is so important for us to realize that our attitude, we will transfer that to our youth. And so we want to be able to be aware, what is it that we are doing, what is it that we are saying, what is it that we are believing. And if we want to empower our youth, it's not just providing them with reading material and schooling, but then the school and the reading material might say it's one thing, and then we say something differently. I love how you point that out, Dr. Anita.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Bridget. Shira, that she is focused on empowering women, no? But also girls. What do you think about these attitudes and beliefs at the axis of all the power that we could deliver to the youth?
Absolutely. I think Ambassador Dr. Anita, very beautifully, the way she put it, that, when it comes to passing it on to the next generation or the Gen Z, or even when we talk about, mentoring. So this is what exactly, brings to my mind a quote from my mentor, that to have a mentor early in youth or in your life, whatever stage of life you are going through, but as long as you get the right kind of mentor, I think it infuses an individual with a lot of vitality. And that's where I think she put in this beautiful term of passion is not about keeping it to yourself but passing it on. And if I had to talk more about what role a mentor can play in empowering the youth, we all know the future belongs to, of course, the youth, and nurturing and fostering of youth is something which is really important. And I think we all are, in our own ways, we are trying to create that impact, giving that mentoring or developing the leadership skills of the Gen Z. So I think it is very important when there is a whole lot of platform open for so much of learning and unlearning. If the youth is guided in the right way to have the right kind of attitude built in, and the kind of raw intelligence that a person individual comes up with, and the set of acquired intelligence over the formative years, I think the right kind of mentoring and guidance goes a long way in shaping up and fostering the youth to develop the leadership qualities. And not just that, but also a very important point which Dr. Anita mentioned, that it is not just the raw intelligence, but I think it is the resilience factor which plays an important role in the later part of the life. And I think I strongly believe, because when I work closely with the youth back in India, I really take pride in their achievements, where a person coming with no technical background, no qualified education, but with that passion and dream to make it through. If that person is nurtured and guided through a proper career guidance, wherein his aspirations are mapped and his roadmap is in terms of getting the challenges and blocks mentored in a way where he or she is able to see the unlimited possibilities rather than focusing just on the challenges part. If the person is nurtured in a way where he understands his limiting beliefs or patterns, what he or she has gone through maybe in the early stages of childhood, which leaves a quite a long lasting impact for a lot of us in the adult stage. If that is being taken care of, I think through maybe through a proper counseling or a psychological intervention, the youth can really make it through a challenging situation, and building that resilience becomes a turning point for anybody to break through, have breakthroughs in personal professional life. And that's where I believe the equation put by Dr. Anita again, attitude plus belief is equal to choices. And that's where exactly, once the belief system that has been formed, if it is serving good for the greater purpose or it has to be replaced, I think the youth really needs a good mentor throughout his life in all the stages of his growing life, where he or she is empowered enough to make the right choices, not just in the professional manner, but also to shape up a life wherein that thing is passed on to the next generation. And exactly that's how we all are here to today, talking on how we can empower more and bring in that empowerment to today's youth or today's generation. So I think that is my take on a youth empowerment, of how each one of us is contributing in their own ways. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shera. Shera is our national chair for India on G100 Global Networking. We are so proud of her. She's also the CEO of Elite Woman, and she holds a logo that is a woman like that, a super woman. So now I think we could have the same logo, but with a Yan, a Yan leader that is a super Yan.
There is a youth, Mar. I would like to say yes, it goes very well with the superwoman spirit. But more than superwoman, I think elite woman has come from the concept where whether it is a man or a woman, the elite being has emerged from the fact that is always challenged the potential, because that's how winners keep building that attitude of winning, but they don't stop at one victory. They will keep challenging their own potential, and that's where people who always have seen dreams and have achieved things in life, I'm sure will definitely have that vision and mission. So without purpose, I think we all would have not been here. So that's the beauty of, I think, G100 and all empowerment that we are trying to bring to the youth and the women today. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Emotional intelligence, that is one of the keys that we're talking about. Before we are going with Andrea Adams, Megan, would you like to say just a few minutes and then we go with your presentation? Would you like to make comments, or we pass to, yeah?
Yes, a very important point, and really, really thanks to all of you, and especially to Dr. Anita, wherein she mentioned about a manifestation, wherein she said that one should manifest what we want, not what others want us to do. And it really clicked, and it really touched that most of the time what we do is we think and we listen to others, and we are always in a state of being judged by others, and we always try to manifest what others want us to do rather than thinking about what we want in life. So thank you so much. It was such an eye opener, and thank you so much, Sister Ma, for giving me this platform to share my opinion about youth empowerment, because recently started my business also into these things, empowering other women. So this platform is such an eye opener and very, very learning kind of a thing for me. Thank you so much.
Anita will tell you that we are here for that, isn't it? Platform is for that, for empowerment. So we are doing nothing different of what is our mission and our goals. Thank you for showing interest to us. We are going now with Andrea Adams. Andrea Adams is co-founder of the KAG Knowledge Empowerment and Growth Book Club, KAG Kids for young children, and KAG Twins for teenagers. She's also the founder of Global Kids Speak, a platform where children develop public speaking skills, debating skills, and creative writing skills. I love this. That is the true tools. Her story is her second anthology, and she's currently penning a journal-type book to help young adults. We have high expectation to your presentation. Andrea, the floor is all yours. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me here. It is indeed an honor and a pleasure to be able to be on this platform. Please just forgive the beeping and the sound in the back. I hope it's not too distracting. I just want to encourage each and every person listening in just to remember that our youth is our tomorrow. Man, I can start with telling you there's one word, which is simply shh. That word impacted my life. That word actually caused my voice to be silenced. And because of that one word, it just impacted every other thing that happened to me. I was just about 6 years old or 7 years old when I was told, shh. It's amazing the impact that we have as adults on the life of our children. I was a victim of child abuse, and my abuser asked me to shh. And because of that, it impacted every other thing in my life. I grew into a teenager who had little to no self-esteem. And as an adult, it transitioned. I was on my job. I could not speak up. For whatever reason, I was so afraid. And everything came back again to losing my voice. The good news is that my voice is here and it's here to be heard. But I have come such a long way, and my intention is not to just have my voice heard, but to encourage other adults that they have a role to play. Everything that we do, everything from the day that we are born, we start to communicate. In fact, from the time we're conceived, we are communicating. And communication is not always with words. It's verbal, non-verbal. It's in so many different ways. The thoughts, the story of ourselves that we tell ourselves, we communicate all the time. And I just want to encourage adults to take the mantle and take that responsibility and develop excellent communication skills. Growing up in the Caribbean, one of the things that you're told as a child, little children must be seen and not heard. Again, communication. What is the message that we're telling our children? Why are we silencing the voices of our children? Children are individuals. They are beings with their own wonderful and beautiful ideas. It is known that we have over 50,000 thoughts plus every day. Just think of it. This little person, so curious to be joined into this world to find out and discover more of what it is. The worst thing we can do is tell them, shh, silence them. No. Our children, who are our future, have to be heard. We have to encourage them to communicate because communication is the key. It's a key tool in the development of a child. We're not doing them any good when we tell them to be silent. Their voices must be heard. As adults, we have a mantle and we have a responsibility to create platforms, to create areas in which children can communicate, where their voices can be heard and their opinions can be given without them feeling as if they will be ridiculed for just having an opinion. Of course, guidance must be given and they must learn the importance of respect, etc. But I believe that children should be heard and their voices should be heard. Platforms should be given. They should be given the opportunity, not just in school, but even when they're home, to communicate in a way that builds relationships. Because communication and relationships goes together. Children should be encouraged to understand and discover who they are. Because the sooner we begin to awaken our children, the better they will be to be able to face the world. We are giving our children a disadvantage if we do not give them the tools at hand from young to be able to step out there and do what they're called to do. For me, my awakening, as I call it, came later in my life. But I have a mantle to be able to touch as many children as I can to give them that opportunity to understand that they can make a difference from a very young age. The good thing is now, though, a lot of children, times have changed so much. A lot of children are more exposed, but still not enough. We have different sections in the world, different countries in the world, like third world countries, especially, where children are still not exposed to a lot of stuff. I believe that we have to create ways in which we can reach these children, where they can get the opportunity to learn stuff from a younger age, create opportunities more or less, where they can be able to learn the art of communicating and communicating in different ways, whether And whether it's like learning how to speak publicly, learning how to express themselves to their parents. And again, to adults, we have to take that mantle and develop ourselves and be deliberate about it. Whether or not we have children, we have to develop ourselves in a way where we are able to teach our children, be able to open up to our children, and be able to be great role models for them. My call is just to encourage everyone to just think wherever you are. How is it that you can help a child to be able to gain their voice? How can you empower a child with the tools so that when we take them out into the world that they're equipped? Just imagine being sheltered all the time and then you're just thrown out into the ocean. You can't swim, but someone just throws you out into the ocean and you're unprepared. Having little to no communication skills and not being able to represent yourself and speak up is that same equivalent. Imagine you're sheltered and you're told you can't do this, you can't speak, and then you're thrown into the world and you're expecting that that child can just get out there and know how to swim the waters and swim the storms. No, we need to equip our children with the tools, help them to be strong children and ready and be prepared for the world, be prepared for college, the world of work, whatever obstacles life have to show. But they cannot do it without our help. It's important that we develop a really great relationship with our children and teach them the tools of communicating. This is just my simple message, and I just thank you all so much for just listening in.
This is awesome, awesome, Andrea, and we know that it was like that. I love the what you have done, because from your experience, the storytelling of what was your life, you built a new dimension for other kids. So that is have double value. Thank you so much for sharing with us. We I would like to say welcome to Tanya Maytox. Hello, Tanya.
Hello.
Hello. We have problems of connection. I think now it's settled. Tanya is from our national chair from Michigan. Not from G100 Global Networking. I say that she's mine, but she is from G100 Openness and Wisdom, other wing of G100, and she is also a certified coach on ethical manners. And welcome, Tanya. So sorry you couldn't join us, but you follow us live. So now you are in. So please, if you would like to start now, you're very welcome.
Hello. There was a little feed background. I didn't hear. It was two voices talking. Good morning. How is everyone?
Fine. Tanya, go ahead with your presentation, please.
Oh, I'm talking.
Yeah. If you're ready. If not, we are going to with Megan. Or Bridget. Would you like to go to Megan and we give you a couple of times? Yeah? A couple of minutes?
Hello? Oh.
Megan, please.
Hello?
Megan?
Yeah.
Please go ahead. Megan is
All right.
founder and CEO of GS Group, and we are very happy to welcome you for first time. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sister Mark. And the topic which has been given to us today is youth empowerment. So I would like to share my views on youth empowerment. Is what I believe is that today's youth should have the appetite, an appetite of taking risk to build their future, risk in terms of their own growth. People nowadays are very skeptical about, following their dreams. So only one thing which I would like to tell today's youth is to take a little risk and have a little appetite for your own future. Now we are into this era of internet wherein everything is so much we get everything through internet, and accessibility of information is so much easy to us. So why not to utilize that? And if we believe that we have that capability of following our dreams, we can achieve anything. And this is what my a message which I want to give to today's youth, that being into the internet era, we have the power of conquering the world. We can educate ourselves, you know virtually, but just by surfing the internet. Empowerment is a very, very essential topic, because youth, like the generation, today's generation, they are the future. They are the future of any country, the society. They're the future of tomorrow. And they should know their worth. A self belief and self love is very, very important. They should know that they can conquer the world if they follow their dreams. And for following their dreams, they have to actually, and one, the society needs to give them a support, a supporting hand for them to understand their potential and to work on their skills to achieve their dreams. Like we the people, the society, to empower and to make them confident and to make them empower, we should actually support them. If the generation in today's generation get a backup, a support from their mentors, they become very, very confident and to choose the right path, to choose the correct path for themselves, and not by listening what others want them to do. So this is very, very important, to listen to your inner self, what you think, what you believe that you can do. Because I strongly believe one thing, that one should know their strengths and weaknesses. If a person is capable of knowing his her own strength and weaknesses, that becomes the power. That really becomes the power, because you are good at doing what and where do you lack, so that you can work on those things wherein you lack, and you can work on your skills. You can develop your skills. But the most important thing is that a proper support, a proper guidance to the youth, so that they know that their dreams are achievable. Nothing is impossible. I always say that, and I believe it thoroughly, that nothing is impossible if you believe in yourself, if you believe that you can achieve something. As Dr. Ma'am mentioned very correctly, that you manifest your own success. Whatever you think, you believe, it comes. The universe gives it to you. So today's youth really needs to understand that self love, self belief is a very, very vital thing to achieve their dreams, to reach out to where they want to go in their life. This is what I think, and this is my opinion of youth empowerment. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for being here, tapping into yourself. This is something that we repeated say, especially on our lovely other win, that is honest and wisdom, that Tanya belong, tapping into yourself. Tanya, are you ready to go ahead? Yes?
I am.
Okay, could you hear us? Everything is okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly. So go
Very
ahead,
good.
Tanya. We were very much looking forward for your always wise presentations and beautiful attitude. We were talking about attitude, belief, and choices. And you always have the right attitude, the wonderful belief, and we make the choice to have you here with us. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I'm so glad to be here. And everyone has shared such wonderful, vital information for the youth. And I'd like to add to that conversation. It is very important, young people, to protect your environment, where you want your life to be, the lifestyle you would like to live 5 years from now will be determined by who you surround yourself with, the books you read, and the experiences that you have. It's very important for you to look out for that. If you have goals to achieve great things and to further some of the learning you already have, and your friends are looking to just enjoy youthful experiences like parties and outings, you may have to choose new friends. Don't be too downhearted by that. This is very important for your future. I would like to encourage you to listen to the elders around you. There are a lot of information, there's a lot of information you can get through from them that will be vital and will set you apart from many of the youth today. Something as that you may have done, such as write a thank you note. Thank you notes can take you a long way. Mention in your thank you what it is that you are thankful for. Fine points like that can set you apart. If you are in secondary school and haven't reached the point of having graduated yet, this would be a good time for you to work on your brand. Yes, young people, you are a brand. And look at yourself as a corporation that you have to manage. You are the COO, the Chief Operating Officer, which you have to manage your time and what it is that you have to do when you have to study and when you have to work. And you're also the CFO of your life, the Chief Financial Officer. There are tools that you need to gain at this young adult age to learn how to manage your money and know about banking, bills, and credit. There's a lot of information that is free and accessible to you on websites, such as a bank's website, where you can learn about budgeting and how to manage your money. These are details that are very important that will help you as you make your transition from older teen to adulthood, 18 and beyond. I would like to encourage you also, as the other speakers have mentioned, to get a mentor. As you write your goals about what you want your life to look like and what you'd like to accomplish, look at individuals who are already in that space. Have questions already prepared, what it is that you would like to learn, and have that prepared to approach the person that you desire to be your mentor. Listen well, and make sure you ask your questions. In a mentor-mentee relationship, each person has a responsibility. As a mentee, it's to listen and ask questions. That's also a vital skill in employment and what employers are looking for these days. They want to see curiosity. They want you to ask questions. They want you to be innovative. Coming off of the pandemic over the last 2 years, it's hard to believe that it's been 2 years, but coming off of that time period has put you in a very good position for innovation. As the other speakers have mentioned, you do have a voice, and I want you to know that you are empowered because you decide who you surround yourself with. You decide what you do, and it puts you in control. You are empowered to make those choices, the people that you associate with and the activities that you participate in. It's very important that you realize that you have the ability to do that. And you will be surprised, and so will others who are watching you, at what you accomplish. And do know that you can do it. You can accomplish that with the right personal relationships, the mentorship, and also keeping your eyes on your goal. You can achieve what it is that you'd like to achieve and achieve your dreams. Make sure you journal. Pay attention in your life, the things that have happened in your day, what you liked about what happened, what you would change, and what you may not have done so well that you can do better. As Dr. Anita Davis Defoe mentioned, resilience. Resilience can help you restart whatever that project or direction was that you wanted to go in, and you can be successful in it. So I'd like to encourage you Make your plan, stick to your plan, protect your environment, and believe in yourself and know that you can achieve it. And you will get the success that it is that you desire.
Thank you so much, Tanya. That was absolutely beautiful. Anita, you are there silent, listening, knowing how to listen. We say that, no? That's the first message that we are sending to the youth, no? Listen. And Anita, do you think we are going into an individualistic society? We are teaching them that to become individualistic, think in yourself, thump in yourself. You have the power. It's everything about emotional intelligence. We are living in crisis, so we became very defensive. So do we need to be careful? What is the message? What do you think about that, Anita?
Well, as all of the speakers have mentioned, we are really giving them good advice. Too much emphasis in societies globally is always not about listening, but in conversations to respond. And so, the more that you do listen, the more you're able to learn and the more you're able to to capture. So that is certainly good advice. And then also I've been hearing speakers talk about a variety of personal skills which are also powerful in the workplace, which are sometimes all characterized as soft skills. And if you Google that, employers are saying they want millennials and Gen Zers to have these skills, that employers are very concerned about the absence of good soft skills, as they're labeled. The interpersonal, the listening, the communication, the innovative thinking, the problem solving. There's a whole slew of skills that are critical, not only in the workspace, but in our personal lives. So being a good listener is critical, not only in your personal life, but in the workplace, because if you're not listening, you perhaps will not get the assignment correct and do something that is not what the supervisor wanted. If you're not listening to team members, so listening is a powerful skill, because in our society, we have become such, I say, microwave listeners, that we want these snap responses. And so many times we're not mindful. And so we're in a conversation. We half the time are not even listening to what the person is saying. We're listening to respond, and we're not even really hearing what the person is saying. So listening is powerful. And the more that we nurture it, we really realize how much we're missing. So I think all of what has been shared has been spot on, from the person who was saying that as a young person they were told to be quiet. That happens a lot to young people, that they start to doubt their voice because they're told to be quiet. So then they get very shy about expressing their opinion. And so then when you're working with them to prepare for work, or when they have to express, they really feel shy about it. There's a book called "You Are What You Think," and it says that every child really has the potential, unless they have some mental challenge, to really become a genius between 0 and 5, and that it is the parents and their fears and their shortfalls that they often pass to the young person. So people who are, parents or nurturing others, have to really be careful that they are not putting their own limits on young people. And somebody also talked about mentoring, where there's something so significant about the power of mentoring. The Search Institute in Minneapolis, Minnesota, If you're not familiar with their work, they have something called the 40 developmental assets, and they do them from age 0 up to 18. And these developmental assets, which are internal and external, talk about the things to nurture in youth to make them strong, resilient, and able to really walk in their own significance. And it talks about them needing just one person in their lives. Ideally, you hope it would be a parent, but we know in many cases it's not. But that's when people like us and programs come into powerful positions by having a mentor. Is saying that if a person has at least one person in their lives that says to them, yes, you can do it, that encourager, that mentor, that's all it takes to help them to shift their lives. And so all of what has been shared by the questions and the presenters is really powerful and can serve as some significant spiritual food for the spirit for everybody that is in this space today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anita. Listening. Listening seems to be the mantra of our session, at least. So the more communicating we are, powerful communication, digital word, and the less we listen. So this is something that really we need a whole session to understand why this is happening. And we are going to continue with the exercise of listening. So now is our turn from Bridget Pawnee Tan, that is our founder and president of International Childhood Cancer Charity. She's also G100 National Chair from US and Global Networking, a certified grief transformation coach, speaker, bestseller author of Seeking Peace, and also a consultant. Bridget, welcome once again to your house.
Thank you, Mar. It's a pleasure, and thank you for all of you who are here and listening to us or participating in this discussion here. It's wonderful to and such a great honor to be here. I would like to ask our listener, our audience, to bring the question back to you, actually. What is empowerment to you? We've been talking about empowerment, and like many other things in life, everybody might have a slightly different understanding, opinion, thoughts on what is empowerment. So my question to you, first of all, is what is empowerment to you? The Oxford Dictionary, if we were to quote the dictionary, the Oxford Dictionary says the empowerment is the process of becoming stronger or more confident, especially in controlling one's life and claiming one's right. And so to become more confident and become stronger is what empowerment for me, and perhaps for you as well, to be able to shape your life the way that we want to shape it. And yes, we're talking about youth as today. And for me personally, when I approach empowerment, I approach it in a holistic, WHOLE, holistic approach. And that's because everything in life is interactive. You cannot have an empowered mind, but an ill body. You're not going to have the energy to be able to do what it is that you need to do. And you cannot have a strong body and a mind that's not working. You cannot even have an empowered mind and a strong body, but your heart is breaking, because your heart is the center of you and it will influence all that you do. And so for me, empowerment, the true empowerment for our youth, and as many of the speakers says already, how we are doing as adults will influence our youth. As our Dr. Anita mentions, your belief as adult, your fear, and being a grief coach, I see many a times your unresolved trauma and grief will transfer to the youth as well. And so what my questions for you is, looking at the holistic approach, and also the holistic approach means that It's not only what's in the youth, but also what's in the environmental of the youth, who are around the youth, what adults around the youth, what's the lifestyle situations. And my invitations to you, if you are sharing this moment with us, is actually to say, okay, now that we understand that everything is holistic and everything is connected, what are outside the youth that we might want to be mindful about? Because as Andrea mentions earlier today, that communications, verbal communications, our words counts very little to the whole spectrum of communications. There are studies showing that our words counts less than 25% of the message that we share to somebody. A lot of time it's our body language. And nowadays, many study has even shown that our energy, what's inside of your mind and inside of your heart, that's unspoken. We have a specialized magnetic resonance imaging that can measure this with a technology, that your energy, what's going on in you, even if you're not saying it, it's actually detectable and influence others around you, including, for instance, the youth you are interacting with, the youth living in your household. So my invitations is, as we want to empower our youth, to allow them to be able to be stronger and more confident, we want to also allow us to look at ourselves, since everything is energy and energy is connected. And even if you're not saying anything, let's say your heart is breaking or your mind is full of doubt, even if you're not saying anything, the youth around you can feel that and actually impacted by that. So my invitations for you actually is to see, is there a part of you, as we are talking about youth, is there a part of you, the adult, that might also be able to benefit from becoming even more whole, becoming more empower yourself as well, as you allow your mind to be more empowered and your heart to heal even further. And so that's my invitations for you today. And this is the reasons why at the International Childhood Cancer Charity, Mar mentions that I'm the founder and the president. We approach children with cancer in a holistic way as well, where we heal them physically, we heal them emotionally, and we empower their mind and their spirit, the adult around the children and the children. And if you like to know more about the International Childhood Cancer Charity, feel welcome to connect with me. And I'll give the floor back to Mar. Thank you very much to allowing me to share my thoughts today, Mar, and all the participants today.
Thank you so much, Bridget. It was absolutely fantastic as usual. And please, I will let you all. Anita will be the last one if she's okay with that. I will give you 1 minute to a strong message, stronger than you have already done it, to send a message to the youth one by one. Andrea, please, if you are ready, if you're happy with that.
Sure. I just want to encourage each and every person to remember that we all have a responsibility to play in developing a strong self-talk, and also by extension using that to build on every other relationship that is around us. And especially as adults, we have that responsibility in that mantle. So I just want to encourage you to ensure that you work on you, and by extension you're able to work on everyone else around you. And remember that you were once a child, and ensure that you play your part. Each of us have that responsibility.
Beautiful, Andrea. Thank you. And we are going to keep that. Donna said this. Have a voice. We are going to keep that if you allow us.
Yes.
Megan, thank you. Megan. Megan, could you
So,
listen to us? Yeah.
am I audible? So my message, as I have already said this before, that my message to today's youth is to believe yourself, believe whatever you do, and believe and have a self-love, self-confidence, and go ahead with your dreams. It is very, very essential to believe and go ahead with whatever you believe without any obstacle, whichever obstacle comes in your mind. Just come over your fears and believe yourself and go ahead with your dreams. This is what my message is for today's youth.
Thank you so much. Hope and
Thank you so much.
courage for the future. Doesn't matter the crisis that we are living, isn't it? Thank you. Thank you for that, Megan. Tanya, your powerful message. Anyways, also I'm sorry to have said that Tanya is owner of InFocus Coaching Service as well. So
Yes.
thank you. Yeah, thank you. Sorry for that, Tanya. Yes,
Oh,
please.
thank you, Bar, and thank you, everyone, and Dr. Anita Davis Defoe. What I would like to leave with you is realize that you are a brand. And with the heightened social media usage, know that what goes on the internet stays on the internet. Make sure you do an audit of your internet usage because that could come back to haunt you one day. Make sure that you watch what you say, no bullying. If there's anything that does not line up with who you want the world to see you as, it's time to start diluting those negative messages with more positive images and messages of you and what you do and what you believe in. That's how the world gets to know you these days. And it's very important that you protect your brand. Watch who you associate with and watch what you put out there online. You are a brand and you have the power to shape your image.
True power. You are delivering true power, Tanya, for them. Thank you for that, Anita. Last 2 minutes with your wise and wonderful, hopeful message to the youth and for ourselves, of course.
Well, this message is certainly for the youth, but it's to all of us, and it goes simply like this: that circumstances and situations, they don't define us, they reveal us. They reveal who we are. And success is inside all of us, success as we define it. And it is never too late. It only becomes too late when we decide to quit. As long as you continue to dust yourself off and you continue, you can prevail if you take your personal passion, you align that with purpose, and you have persistence, you will prevail. And I just encourage everyone, particularly our youth, don't let what you see with the naked eye make you think that it's not possible. And don't really embrace what we as humans call failure. That's something as humans we've decided to name and claim. When something doesn't work out, it's simply telling you change the process. It means different steps. They often kidded Thomas Edison and talked to him about how many times it took him to discover electricity. And he said those were the steps. So to everybody, just know it's the steps, it's the process. Persist and prevail.
Thank you, Anita. Resilience, attitude, belief, choices, tapping into yourself, emotional intelligence. We have going through all the tips to really empower the youth. Thank you so much. And I will end with what Tanya said: write it on, gratitude, write it on. So I say to all of you, thank you, ladies, for being here. You have been great. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you and make it a great day.
you.